Today, we know something we didn't know 20 years ago. We know we can provide children facing the extra challenges of poverty with an education that is transformational. As a nation, it is of course true that we should do everything we can to reduce the challenges of poverty. And in fact, mitigating poverty is one critical way to bring us closer to our vision. But now we also know that we don't need to wait to eliminate poverty to ensure that all of our nation's children have access to the kind of education that will ultimately give them a way out of poverty. So today, we're asking a different question. We aren't asking whether we can make a difference through education. Instead, the question is, how can we ensure that all children have access to an education that unlocks their full potential? Even to that question, we have seen amazing progress in the last few years. 5 years ago, if we had asked our most informed educators and policy leaders to agree on a list of the hardest to change school systems in America, certainly we would have had a big debate, but certainly we would have agreed that New Orleans and Washington, D.C. were near the top of the list. Today, in some significant part because of the inspiring efforts of many alumni, many folks in this room, these are two of the fastest improving school systems in America. Again, the reasons for their success are not elusive. Where school systems are changing in meaningful ways, their leaders are once again deeply committed to changing lives. They know that incremental change is not enough, and they act on an understanding that success is not elusive. They focus on attracting and developing and empowering school-based leadership and teachers to do whatever it takes to attain transformational results. The successes in New Orleans and DC and that of other improving systems like New York City's, systems that 10 years ago were thought impossible to move, should fuel our collective sense of possibility. On top of all this, today we are witnessing unprecedented levels of policy change at the district, state, and federal level to act on the lessons of high-performing schools and changing school systems. We have state laws, like the one passed recently in Colorado thanks to alumnus Michael Johnston, and the many who supported him in the effort, which is foundational in enabling districts to develop exceptional teachers and principals and to empower them to attain results. What we've learned about transformational education and how to replicate it, the progress we've made in growing the number of transformational schools, the systems and policies that are changing, this is stunning progress for 2 decades. And yet, the reality is that we have not yet made a meaningful difference against the problem we're addressing in an aggregate sense. Still, in the aggregate, the achievement gaps in our nation remain the same as they were 20 years ago. To realize our vision, we will need to build on all that's been learned, the incredible progress that's been made to dramatically increase the pace of change. What will it take to do this? I have my opinions, but today I'm going to leave it to you all and our panelists to figure this out. But I am going to share one observation. Wherever we see change that is transformational for students, that has a meaningful, not an incremental, but a meaningful impact on their academic and life trajectories. Wherever we see it, we see transformational leadership. If we truly center ourselves in the lessons of the last 20 years, we will see no way around that fact. Whether at the classroom level, or the school level, or the system level, or the policy level, The kind of change we need rests on people who know and believe what Megan Brousseau and Julie Jackson know and believe, who deeply believe in their students, who understand what it takes to set them up for success, and who are willing to step up and lead to ensure they fulfill their true potential. Wherever we see transformational change in education, there are individuals who have the conviction, insight, experience, and determination that comes most often from having taught successfully in urban and rural communities. Ultimately, attaining the change we need is going to require transformational leadership at every level, inside our classrooms, at the school level, and at the system level, in our communities, in our unions, at every level of policy, and in the professional sectors that influence our policy makers. Anything less buys us incremental change at best. And in the face of a problem of the magnitude and consequences of the one we're addressing, one where whole communities put more children into prison than into college, there is only one morally acceptable option. Incremental change is not enough. We need transformational change.